So I'm joined by amazing people today, and we will speak about something they really love and they have been doing for a very long time. So we'll give it up for Hátim, العقيل, founder and CEO of Gems of Arabia, and am I going to say it right? Authenticite?
أستعلى بالعربي authenticity in English.
Authenticity in English, okay. الكنهل, founder and creative director of الكنهل. الله, التميمي, عفوا التميمي, founder and CEO of ميراك, Capital. And Sárة, Shraybi, founder of
Maison Sárة Shraybi.
Huh?
Maison Sárة Shraybi.
Maison Sárة Shraybi. Amazing. Let's give it up for them, please. We will start this session. And by the way, as it is, I've been practicing these words for the whole day, but it still comes on stage differently, so please excuse me. Your career began in fashion design, Hátim, and has evolved into building platforms like Gems of Arabia. And how has this journey for Hátim العقيل shaped the vision of fashion as cultural capital today?
Well, as a Saudi, I've always wanted to articulate my fashion, my style, what I'm doing. And the whole idea behind my brand is to create this synergy where we celebrate Saudi creativity.
Yeah.
When I started, it was about making a point that Saudi fashion can also hold its own in international levels. So we're talking about being seen in Saks Fifth Avenue, being seen as Boutique One. And from there, it just started. And I realized with Gems of Arabia, which is my media platform, I wanted to also articulate that Saudi heritage can also be explained through stories and narratives, not just fashion. And from there, we started creating collaborations with international brands, activations. We have a long-standing relationship with Harrods, a 3-year relationship, where we take creativity of Saudi Arabia and we film episodes in places like Beit Jukhdar, Beit Nasif, Middle East, through the lens of an international brand. And to me, this is what inspires me the most. My journey started where Ithra asked me, Hátim, we want you to do an exhibition. I was still a designer, and I'm like, but why me? They're like, because you have an eye. I guess that's another way of saying how old I am. But basically, the
way
whole
of saying you're very creative.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. But no, I was really honored, and I had the opportunity to create an exhibition with the likes of the incredible الكنهل, where we celebrated Saudi design and created a synergy by having an actual forum, bringing people from MIT, London School of Fashion, creating a Made in KSA panel. We it's almost like we had manifested all of these elements of showing the creative side of Saudi Arabia. So from there, I realized, you know what? I love this.
Amazing.
So I decided to take another route with fashion.
And what was that route?
Really start consulting and working on creating collaborations with local and international entities. Especially the luxury market now is much more sensitive towards what's happening in KSA. Brands are finally starting to take us more seriously. Before, pitching was impossible. And now it's actually a whole new narrative.
Amazing.
They don't just want Saudi, they want to know the grassroots of our society. They want to know who are the people that really resonate. And Gems of Arabia is not just about fame, it's also about authenticity. And
Amazing.
That's why I call
you have some slides.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, we can move to the slides, but let me just jump to our panelists, and we will move to the slides right away, and we will get to know Gems of Arabia in details.
For sure.
Hopefully. Amazing. Reem, أهلا وسهلا.
أهلا وسهلا.
All right. Reem, what type of investor support or funding structures do you believe are most urgently needed for female-led fashion brands in Saudi Arabia today?
I think we need more of angel investors. This term I learned a few years back when I met HRH Princess Rima bint Bandar. She was so supportive. Like, I think it was more than 12 years ago when we had this meeting and she was giving me this advice. And that's when I learned the term angel investor. So sometimes when we start, like as fashion is young in Saudi, and it's a new industry as to become an international fashion designer also, it's not just local. So in order to reach all platforms and to reach everywhere, you need investors.
Yeah.
And if you're a creative person, the language of finance and numbers and all that is not your language. So you need lots of help in this sector.
Of course. And the term angel investing is, are you referring to a group of investors with each small amount of investment? Is this what you're referring to? Angel investing is probably investing with more of a small amount rather than a huge amount into the business. And when you say startups today, you mean female-led fashion brands that are just starting now as entrepreneurs? Is this what you're referring to?
I'm referring to the start, when we first started.
When you first started? Okay.
Yes, this wasn't there. Even when you go to investors and try to convince them to invest in fashion, they won't listen because they think fashion is not something serious to put
put their money in.
Exactly.
Okay.
So that was a struggle.
And this is where you find the angel investor, where he's willing to put some small amounts, maybe take the risk and so on.
And keep your creativity and allow you to do what you do freely as well.
No one will nag on top of your head
exactly.
all day and where's my money?
Exactly.
Exactly. All right. Allah, التميمي, أهلا وسهلا فيك. You are an investor, an angel investor or an investor. We need.
Definitely not an angel investor, so an investor.
What criteria, Abdullah, do you use to decide whether a creative brand is truly, let me put the term, investment ready?
Sure. So let me maybe start with the announcement we made yesterday about the new fund in fashion with the Cultural Development Fund. We announced a 300 million Saudi Riyal fund, and it's targeting the fashion industry with all its facets. When we look at what we look for with this fund that was supported by the Cultural Development Fund and the Ministry of Culture is growth stage companies, what we call private equity companies, so maybe more mature than what we were discussing in terms of size, in terms of sales, in terms of customer base, coverage, etc. And also we look at companies that are digital first. So they use e-commerce platforms, omni-channel platforms, a mix of e-commerce and retail, as well as companies that are quite creative, but also for the investors that we have both public and private, it has to be lucrative, it has to be sustainable, it has to be return driven for the long term. And the way we look at businesses, especially when it comes into fashion, is it's important, as mentioned, that the leadership is still creative, is fast, and follows the trends in an effective manner. Some international top-tier brands today, they refresh their collections every 3 weeks. And that is highly, highly fast. And when you look at the local opportunity, and you look at the market in the kingdom, you're looking at a fashion market as per the State of Fashion report that was just released by the Fashion Commission, more than 30 billion USD. 30 billion USD. In the next 4 to 5 years, it's expected to exceed 40 billion USD, and that's a sizable market.
4 to 5 years.
40 billion USD.
But 4 to 5 years, not 45 years.
Yeah, no, 4 to 5.
4 to 5
within the next few years.
40 billion.
Yes. And that is huge. That is huge. And then when you look at the loyalty of the end consumer to the local brand versus the international brand, you're looking at a loyalty of 55% to the local brand versus only 30% to the international brand. So look at that opportunity right there.
Wow.
So you have a sizable market, you have a growing opportunity, you have an investment that's coming in fast, both from a private and public entities, and you have a customer base that's very loyal, highly engaged with the local brands.
And we have at least 10 people who are getting into fashion today from the audience.
Yeah, that's great. And we have leaders here that are amazing, shaping the industry for a very long time.
Thank you.
Someone is clapping. They are fashion people, for sure. Sara Shraibi, I want to go back to the slides of Gems of Arabia, but definitely I need to know your expertise about financing, or let's talk about the infrastructure support that has been most decisive in helping your brand to grow internationally. That will help a lot of people who are listening, who are into the same business as you are.
First of all, I would like to present myself. I'm Sara Shribi. I'm the founder of Maison Sara Shribi, a maison that I created around making Moroccan contemporary craftsmanship, Moroccan craftsmanship as an heritage, as contemporary legacy. And with that, I was selected among very prestigious maisons in Paris to be part of Paris Fashion Week Haute Couture official calendar. And for me, one of the biggest challenges was to operate a transformational journey into my company to address a global market. And what was important in this journey is how to address this mature scene, creative scene. And it was not easy from a creative point of view, but what's helped me the most is having a strong DNA, coming with my own narrative, coming with the ideas that I truly own. And really, when you know who you are, you can address more easily a global market. And if we had to say that the only thing we need is to come together and to become that mature scene from a creative point of view, from an economical point of view, and to nurture our own unicity. And after that, capital will follow, of course, money will come, fund will, we can have everything if we have our own point of view on fashion. We cannot have that without our own ideas, without
Yes.
our own narratives.
You're right.
We only can be relevant if we are culturally relevant.
Amazing. And you look fashionably elite.
Thank you.
So, very happy to have you here, Sara. Of course, Hatim, we want to go back to the slides,
Yeah.
and we want to hear quickly, but because of the time, I want to hear more from you and get a lot of your expertise. But we want to hear about Gems of Arabia a little bit more, as
Sure.
you want to show some slides.
Absolutely. So the purpose...
You can look here.
Thank you.
It's right in front.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry. Excuse me.
So is the clicker?
Doesn't seem to be working, but it's okay. I can get
There you
into detail. Gotcha.
No?
Yeah. Apologies.
Okay.
So the whole purpose of Gems of Arabia is to shed a light on the
There you go.
creative... Thank you. Is it working?
I'll do it for you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
So starting with the fashion, I mean, I've been in the market for quite some time, and I majored in marketing. So I utilized my marketing skills as a fashion designer to really take the culture forward.
Combining both.
We managed to dress people like Snoop Dogg, like Prince William, Christian Louboutin, and so forth. That kind of created quite a whole new narrative and perception of what is street style for Saudi Arabia, and what is the innovation of the Tobe. Moving forward, we also had the opportunity of working with Her Royal Highness Princess Noor Al Faisal on the Saudi Cup, where we created a synergy with the Ministry of Culture, working with the 100 brands and creating a synergy of dressing key personalities that we would bring from the West and also locally. The beauty of this concept, which is what Princess Noura mentioned, is that we don't have the whole purpose of having an ascot or a royal ascot in the UK and adapting that to Saudi Arabia. We have our own dress. This whole concept is something that we had also collaborated on and we worked on through our agency. Again, just to clarify, Wa'othentésité is my agency, the mother company. We create collaborations, we consult, we do cultural mapping. And Gems of Arabia is a platform that is under the agency, and we create collaborations. We do editorial work. We make a conscious effort to focus on grassroots concepts that are based on the culture. You don't have to be famous, you just have to be authentic. And this is why it's called Authenticité. Here are examples of activations and events that we had done, promoting, championing creative communities. Again, whether it's Tiffany or whether it's Birkenstock, funnily enough, the campaigns that really resonate the most are the ones that are culturally relevant. For example, we did one campaign for Birkenstock that went viral. We focused on Najd, Sharqiya, and Hijaz. And each region has its own different dynamics. And this is, I think, the type of consulting that we do, we make sure that we always include local creatives before creating our content. So we're talking about actual collaboration. This cube here is by the amazing Malak Mustalati.
Okay.
It was done with a brand called Purificación Garcia.
Yeah.
And they wanted to create a concept where we can't collaborate on a product, but you can collaborate on actual merchandising. So this is what we do. We create opportunities where we can include culturally relevant content that resonates. And I believe that now, as mentioned earlier, the brands are finally starting to take us more seriously, and the sky's the limit.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Hatim. Reem, I want to jump to you right away so I can get as much time as possible from you as well. How do you decide which culture motives to emphasize were designed for global markets, for example, and how does that choice affect investment potentials?
Actually, when I began, I wanted to know what's my strength and what's my DNA, which is really important in the fashion industry and in this whole wide world with all these brands and great brands. How would I put my foot and step in and be a strong brand internationally? And that was my dream.
Amazing.
So I figured that owning your story is your power. So owning my own culture, and I've always was fascinating with our culture, جدتي, my grandmother, her stories, the Bedouin tents and the tassels and everything. That how can I take all that and make modern, easy, ready to wear that would speak to the world. Actually, I made that happen, and I was selected by Vogue Italia, by its late Franca Susani, and it's made a huge impact. Everyone wanted to know more about the culture. They wanted to know the story. It made headlines. Although I had many international designers alongside this. So it was so powerful, and I was.
If you have the term in Arabic, say it.
What?
If you have the term in Arabic, say it.
I will.
Okay.
So it's just this fascination and excitement of the international scene that spoke to my heart and made me so proud, and that was 2015, 2016. So
sometimes we tend to, when we get emotional, we tend to have the term in Arabic and we want to say it.
Exactly.
But the English usually, gets us stuck always.
Yeah.
But we're trying as much as possible to have an international conference today with, 3 Saudi locals that are amazing, and also from Morocco. Sara, I'm going to jump to you, but let me ask Abdullah quickly. I have a very important question. Some say fashion is less predictable than other asset classes. Reem mentioned that, and she is someone who is in the field. What do you think?
I think business in general, if you think about it, it's inherently unpredictable to an extent. And that unpredictability decreases as the company becomes more mature.
Yes.
For example, if it's much earlier stage, be it fashion or otherwise, where you need, for example, angel investors or others to invest, you will have higher unpredictability. However, higher reward as well. Some of the companies, for example, we are looking at today, very well established, doing very well, that have actually multiple angel investors that invested early on, and now they did very well. So it is naturally unpredictable just because of the trend, how fast it moves, and the supply chain is so dependent on other things to make sure that your, be it jewelry, be it apparel, be it makeup, cosmetics, is available when that color hits the market. But when you take that risk early on, such as the angel investors, investing, for example, in Reem or Hatim or Sara or others, you have the reward there. So when we come into these companies that are a little bit more mature and we look at the ones who invested early, I can tell you they are making tremendous returns. So the market is very attractive. The unpredictability is similar to the other unpredictability we see in other markets. We invest in fintech, in gaming, in e-commerce, in many innovation-driven and creative-driven markets.
Yeah.
I can definitely tell you that the unpredictability in fashion is not a deterrent. It should be actually an opportunity, given that you can use trends and you can use new channels today, a mix of both creative retail and online, to really penetrate the market, penetrate the age group that is 18, 20, 25, 30. Because this age group, if you look at the recent report, which is an amazing job by the Fashion Commission, they purchase in a much higher frequency than older group, and they purchase online. Okay. And they combine the experience of online and retail to have an omni-channel approach. So we're very excited about the industry, and honestly, seeing such creatives gets us more excited.
Amazing. Of course, let me remind you that we are being watched. We are live streaming, and a lot of people from outside of Saudi Arabia are watching this cultural investment conference, and also on Shahid and الثقافية. Sara, Abdullah mentioned something about risk, and it is very important for me to ask you this question. First of all, what have been your biggest operational challenge? And another thing is, from a designer's view, do you share Abdullah's perspective when it comes to his concerns about risk? Or do you see that investors missing part of the picture today?
Well, I think one of my biggest challenge, especially when I decided to go more global, was to operate this transformation of my company to do the job of not just being a creative, but also being an entrepreneur. Sometimes it's difficult for a creative mind to do that, but by the end of the day, we all have to be conscious with our KPIs, and creativity is not the only thing when you do fashion. It's also about profitability. And the challenge was to transform my company to be mature, to address this global market. Okay. It's a work in progress. It's an everyday work that we have to do.
What about
from organizational point of view, founding risk to scale in the most beautiful way to bloom. And this is the most beautiful part of this journey as a creative mind.
Amazing. Okay, great. Maybe I wanted to know if investors are missing the picture today when it comes to Sara or any of the fashion-led brands today, let's say in our region. Abdullah, maybe he's concerned about a lot of risk, but he has the guts. Yes, he has the guts today, and he's showing it. But a lot 100%. Of other investors are concerned, and they are scared of this, maybe this market specifically. What do you say from your perspective?
From my point of view,
how do you invite investors today to actually invest?
We have the chance in our region to be like more free than in Europe and in Western countries. We can do things and test and learn. Okay. And this is something wonderful. When you are an investor, when you are creative, to test and learn, we can go small and the reward can become bigger and bigger, as Amazing. You said. You can invest at all the stage of a company, and it will be very. It will support communities. It will make the business grow.
Amazing.
And it will become bigger and bigger and bigger as long as you believe in it.
Okay.
And I don't think investing can be done without believing in something.
Yes. Let me just say something real quick. I know time is short.
I have 50 seconds, and I want to still get one word from each one of you. So go ahead, Abdullah, please.
So I think one of the key elements to make people even more excited about fashion is knowledge. Knowledge. Yeah. For example, today, if I ask the audience how many do they think fashion-based companies in the kingdom are public, they'll probably maybe will have to think twice. But now we have more than 3 public.
There you go.
And that you cannot say about many industries. So, and many of them are still growing, doing very well. We had one in cosmetics, in e-commerce, like Nice One, just going public, and then Jim Joom is the other one, and then we had others going public or already public. So that shows the return. I think knowledge, spreading the knowledge and how active and return-based the industry is will get people even more excited.
If I may add, sorry to interrupt, but I think that understanding of the craft and craftsmanship is very important. Ashi is where he is because he worked with Elisa for many years, apprenticeship, understanding quality. Those are certain things, the elements that we need to fortify for our market in Saudi.
Okay.
There's the lab, there's the Ministry of Culture, there's a lot of great initiatives, but we're still not there when it comes to production and scaling. Part of the reason why maybe I slowed down my fashion is because I'm not a trained fashion designer. I took it as a hobby and then I went for it. But had I trained, had I learned how to cut a pattern, had I learned the process, I would have maybe been able to take it further.
Great.
So the craft is also very important, and having that sense of credibility where we are manufacturers is an area that needs to be focused on as well.
I wasn't successful in managing the time in this session, but I have given them 3-4 minutes earlier in other sessions, so they might, you know, they will accept it from me. 1 more minute. I want to hear from Reem. One pledge. Go ahead.
Okay, I encourage investors to be more, to speak to designers more and understand more, as we need more stronger infrastructure in Saudi that will help many people that have they have skills in tailoring and all that, and it could be also it could build homes as well, like giving them jobs, and it's a wide sea of opportunities that would help us as designers and help the community as well.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much. And to conclude, speak to them, please. Investors, if you are seeing us right now, speak to people in this industry. They are willing to open the doors, and they are waiting for you to speak to them. And we will end here. Thank you so much.
And I will promote them.
You will?
I will promote them all.
You will promote them. Great. We have the full package here today. All right, let's give them a big round of applause, please. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Cynthia. Okay, all right.